Hi, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Liv.
And this is the Mach-E vlog. Today we're not doing something directly car related, but I think it's still cool. It is a Bluetti portable power station.
So let's go.
So the reason I say this isn't car related, but it sort of is to us, if you have like a Kia EV6, you can buy like a little device so you can plug into the car and run like normal devices like a computer or lights or something like that. We can't do that with the Mach-E, but this is sort of a way around that. This is a portable battery with outputs and stuff like that and USB, so you can run things just not off of the car battery, but off of the battery in here.
Super cool. So we've actually had this unit for about a month and we've already used it in a couple of different ways, which we're going to share with you. And actually today it's Memorial Day weekend. That's why we have chips and stuff. So we're about to go out for a barbecue in the street and take this out and help us power the whole event. So let's look at all the ways that you can power things, by the way. First things first, I can pop my phone up here. We have a 15-watt wireless charger. So theoretically, my phone would do that. Let's just pretend that happened. My case is very big.
I think we have to turn it on, and then it should charge. And your phone case is a little bit different. So
oh, there it goes. Okay, cool.
See,
so you see the very gratifying, as you can see, that just went away. It's charging. Good to go. As Patrick showed you, there is the power button. The green light is on. The screen does time out, so you have to press that sometimes. I love that my phone is going to be charging while we do this, but let's take a look at this. I'm going to point out the flashlight here. This is extremely bright. So we're going to try it now, but you might be blinded, so prepare yourselves. I think it's very bright. So it has multiple different modes of brightness, and then it also has an SOS mode, or, you know, come find us in the dark somewhere. We have 2 USB-A outputs and then 1 USB-C, and this is actually 100 watts, so that would power your laptop, pretty much any laptop really. That's really powerful. We have 2 120 volts, and this is a combined 600 watts, which is awesome.
And there is like a boost mode where you can do 1200 watts short periods of time, but basically just count on it being 600 watts of output. And I'm sure Liv was getting ready to talk about this part. This is one of the key stats here. It is a 268 watt hour battery. So it's not the biggest of batteries, but it's also very portable. It is about the size of a toaster. In fact, it's almost identical in size to our toaster. And there's also some inputs. So behind this little flap here, that little plug, that's how I've been charging it mostly. You can charge it with pretty much like, you know, if you have a lot of old desktop computers, that's where that plug type is the most common. So I've been doing that, plugging it and charging it during the day while we're producing solar on our roof, and I charge this. So it's sort of, that's one way. But there's also, it has an input here. So if you have solar panels, that you can charge it via the portable solar panels. And our friend Charge Positive on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter, he came over, he has this exact same unit and he has some solar panels. So we put them side by side and he was charging ours with his solar panels. Very, very cool option that you can get directly from Bluetti if you are interested. And then there's also a 12 volt outlet up here, just like you would have in your car, but also a couple of connectors down here. So if I want to power lights, I can just hit that and power it on. Switching things up, what we're going to do first, right now the laptop is plugged in, it's actually charging. We're using the 120 volt outlet over here. So it's also, this is one of the things I wanted to show you, the display. It's showing that we're outputting 35, 36 watts right now. It's also saying the battery is 99% full, and at this rate, it would last about 6.7 hours, outputting 37 watts. And it's also charging the phone, although I think the phone may be no, I was gonna say it's at 100%, but it's not. See, the display goes off, you just tap it, comes right back on. The one on the left side, that's the input. We're not charging it now, but you can see how to charge. It has like a turbo charging mode where it charges pretty darn fast. I think it's 0 to 80 in about 30 minutes. I've been just letting it charge in normal mode, and it also has like a silent mode. Although silent mode isn't always silent, if it has to, it'll kick on the fan, but it's not too loud. But let's try something else. So we're going to unplug this. This is a USB-C connector. So we have our outlet here on. You heard the laptop ding, and now it's charging via USB-C as well, and it's pulling 31 watts. It would normally pull a bit more, but the laptop is already pretty much fully charged. So that's all it's pulling for right now. But if it were, at a lower state of charge, it could pull more wattage. Display goes off again. We just tap it, comes back on. And yeah, very, very cool. Nice to have this little display. And there's also an app where you can connect via Bluetooth and control some of the functions. So that's also a nice feature that we'll show you. But we got to go out and have a little bit of fun with this, and then we'll go back and talk about some other uses for this and why we've really appreciated it. Before we go, we'll show you one of the best features. It has a handle, so it's like very easy and portable. I think it's just over 10 pounds, so it's not light, but you can almost have like 2 of those and do some weightlifting with it, curls or something like that. But it's actually very easy and nice and easy to just grab it by the handle and go, and that's exactly what we're going to do now.
Well, that was really, really fun. Let's pick up the unit right here. And Patrick was saying that it'll probably live in the front, right?
Yeah, I mean, this shows it's like very lightweight, easy to use, easy to move around. Our Mach-E, we have a perfect little frunk where we can store, we have like our charger up here, but we could also carry the portable battery with us as well. Last night was really tons of fun. Of course, they didn't really need to have our lights out there, but it was a party, so we wanted to, make it festive, and we had the battery, so it was cool to like have that out there. We put it on the table, like lit up the table, then we moved it under the trees just to sort of just play around with the unit itself. But it was also, everybody loved it. Like as soon as we brought it out, people were taking photos of like the fact that we were powering all the lights. Sort of a simple idea. And of course, we were at home or our neighbors, and we could have just run an extension cord, but this is like way easier than an extension cord.
Well, and a big thing was that there were a ton of kids, and I love to hula hoop. I brought out my hula hoop for a bunch of hula hoops, like 5 of them, for the kids, and it's really quite light, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll just hold it right here.
Okay. It's 10 pounds of a workout. But there were multiple times when the kids would have run over the extension cord, because I thought as we brought the lights out, I was like, yeah, should we just run an extension cord? But for sure, they would have knocked it over because the kids, I was making them hula hoop on the grass because they were scratching at my hoops. So that was like right where we would have had cables. It could have been a whole thing, and it wasn't because we had this power. And that was a really fun application that I hadn't thought of. It's like no cables to worry about. It was just like right there.
And even a few weeks ago when we first got it, we wanted to do some work out in our backyard, and we have like a nice table back there, and there's a wall outlet, but I didn't want to like dig out and get an extension cord. And again, it's sort of like, hey, we have this unit, might as well use it. So it was really nice for a couple of reasons. Like one, we had our laptops out there when we're doing video edits and stuff like that. We kill the batteries quickly. So we're like, we'll just plug in to this unit, and it gives us an extended life of our laptops. But the other one that I didn't think about, but it's really neat, is we use Google Home speakers like all over our house. And normally, like when we're doing music outside, we just get like a Bluetooth speaker. Well, what was cool is like we could take one of our Google Home speakers, plug it into this, and use it outside, because they don't have like battery operated one, and so or we don't have one. So it was like an extension of our Google Home network by having a power source to plug in and use that instead of just a normal battery powered Bluetooth speaker. So it was cool to be able to do that. And I think that's sort of the thing is like, you may not have all of the ideas and uses for this little unit, but it's so small and portable, it's easy to move around, that you'll probably come up with ideas. And, we're thinking we may have some, ideas and uses this summer.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a fun thing to have, and we're super fortunate that we were given this unit for review. But there are a lot of people for whom this unit is a necessity. People who like to camp, which is not us. We did for one of my pandemic birthday. Everyone did some weird things, right? So we went to a cabin in the woods. Our friend has a cabin. It's totally off grid. There's like a little bit of solar, just enough for some lights in the house, but everything else totally off grid. If we had had something like this, that would have been, in all honesty, way better for us because we're just not off gridders. We're not,
Yeah.
yeah, we could have had laptops. We could have just had the freedom of modern conveniences. We could have had a, I was going to say a Google Home, but there was no internet. But like, we could have actually powered stuff. We could have had a blender and had margaritas or whatever.
But
Like, it would have been a whole thing.
that's a good point. Like if you have Starlink, I guess you could run Starlink off of this. Although I don't think this would last too long with as much power. I don't know how much power Starlink pulls. It wouldn't last you like a whole weekend. But for us, this would have been nice. Like we were only up there for like 2 days. We could have, at least used our laptops a bit more. Maybe had, well, we did take a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
So we would have probably still used a Bluetooth speaker, but we could recharge it with this. So
And it has a flashlight. Like there were times that we went out in the woods, in the wilderness, and we could have just had this on the table and had power. Patrick was doing astral photography and like even just being able to turn the light on and off. Instead, we have like the flashlight on our phones. We're like, oh my gosh, we're in the wilderness. We're just obviously not the total target market for this, but there are applications that we're looking forward to because now that we've moved to San Diego, near where my family is, they're all surfers. We're going to hang out with them on the beach. It's going to be fun, and we're going to get to use this, I'm sure, multiple times. But also, there are bigger units, right?
yeah, this is really sort of like the smallest unit they sell, if I'm not mistaken. They start, I won't say the price because it fluctuates around 300 or under 300, I think, for this one. And there's usually coupons and discount codes and stuff like that. But you can go up and go bigger and bigger. And Bluetti is getting into, I believe, even like home batteries, like if you have solar. So this is a 268 watt hours. They go into multiple kilowatt hours. So I think you can get like a 2 kilowatt hour battery. It goes on up. So we'll put links down below for all the information on Bluetti website, but we'll also put the Amazon links where, again, a lot of times you'll find discounts, but we'll also link to our, I guess it's like our Amazon storefront or whatever that has some of Bluetti's other batteries in case you want something bigger, something that will, sustain more power output. So like if you want to run like a crock pot or something, this probably isn't the best one for doing that, or I'm not even sure because it has the 1200 watt boost.
But that's actually something that we were curious about last night because it was a potluck. It would have been interesting to run an outlet and have a crock pot out there. Also, though, like we did mention that you can charge this up with solar. So that's
Yeah.
another use that even if this isn't a large enough capacity for your weekend camping trip or whatever, if you have a couple panels, you can charge it up. And then this also changes the whole game with the Mach-E. We don't have Pro Power on board or anything like that, but if we just shove this in the front, suddenly we have so much more power. We have
And
so
it
much more options.
goes back to the flexibility of this because even if you have power in your car, if we took the Mach-E out to where we were camping or whatnot, we might not necessarily want to use the car's battery to power things. And then if we do, we don't want to necessarily have to like bring extension cords with us and run it through the campsite to where we want the power.
Or if we're going to the beach, we
Or if we're
can't
going to the
take
beach.
the car to the beach.
You can't take the car out onto the beach that we're going to. Some beaches I know you can. But this makes it like it's just, quick, easy, portable, can carry this along with your cooler and camping chairs and all that other good stuff that you'd have out there. So just really nice and flexible. They have some other units that are more powerful, but only slightly bigger, probably a little bit heavier because the battery's bigger. But check them out. I really like it. The Bluetooth functionality, having the app available is really nice. I think we'll throw up some screenshots so you can see that. It basically mimics like a lot of the same functions that you can see here, as well as the display so that you can see. And look, I turned that on right there. 100% charged. I just charged it up. So I think that's it. What do you guys think? Let us know. Is this the type of stuff that you guys are potentially interested in as sort of like a not really car related, but car related or fun related or whatever. We're going to put it in the front, so now it is car related, right?
And of course, like I've been dealing with some health issues, so we haven't been able to do some of the things that we might want to do, like go out to the beach or whatever. But it's going to be awesome to have this. So if you are interested in seeing us use it in other ways, then let us know and we're happy to test it out.
Suggest a use for our Bluetti. Hashtag. No, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
we know our friend Talik has used it for amps. I think that it would be really fun. My family's a whole bunch of musicians. Like, go have a little gig on the beach somewhere.
Yeah. He's a music teacher and he's done little.
Charge Positive is his.
Yeah, well, we already mentioned him, so we got to
Yeah.
definitely link to his stuff. But yeah, he's talked about like he's hosted little concerts for some of his students and powered the amps for like 4 hours using that exact unit.
Awesome.
And then he's done some other EV related activities where they charged them up using the solar panels that you can use to charge this thing up. So some really cool stuff. And it's all clean energy when you're coming from solar. We use ours. We have solar on the roof, so our power is that way. So really exciting to see this type of stuff, and we hope to be able to bring you more stuff. Hopefully you like this. Give the video a thumbs up, and that way we know you like it. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Leave a comment and say like, I don't want this stuff on the channel, and we'll take note of that. We might still do it, but at least we'll take note of it.
So on that note, it's time to go. A big thank you to our patrons. Because of your patronage, we're able to get units like this to review. Remember, if there's something you want us to review, let us know. And just remember that whatever you drive, whether it has ProPower on board or a Bluetti in the front, enjoy the ride. Bye.